I don't understand the position of the games industry on AI. With 30 days until the release of School of Magic, I just wanted to talk about it because it's something that keeps me up at night and makes me really afraid of how people are going to react. So I wanted to be really open about it and talk about my thoughts here. Let's go to the ethics quickly. I don't really want to talk about ethics here because I think lawyers will basically figure it out for us very soon. But from my personal perspective, I still wanted to mention is basically in the middle. I kind of see both sides. I kind of see like the training is not really stealing, and but I also understand that it feels weird that you train basically your replacement. It's the same for coding, by the way. But I don't really have issues when someone takes my stuff from code, but I understand if people do, and there are some people that do. Instead, I want to talk about why the games industry seems to be so hostile towards AI. And if you ask why I say that, I can tell you that basically once I started using AI, I got excluded out of all the Steam festivals, basically. Not all of them, but most of them. Before I had a easier time getting into them, like I got into multiple ones, and afterwards I basically got into none, almost none anymore. I don't want to complain because I already had some wish lists and I just want to make the best game I possibly can. This might be the last game I do. I have no idea if this will be sustainable, but I will finish this game and I will want to make it the best it can be. And I think AI will help me do that. Instead, I wanted to talk about the benefits of AI. I think AI can help the industry getting back on track a little bit and without really like killing all the jobs. So that's basically my take on AI. I think the benefits of AI are way overlooked and it's all just doom and gloom. People are afraid of losing their jobs, and I don't think everybody needs to be that afraid, to be honest. Why do I say that? So I think the strength of AI is doing a thing like kind of good. Like it can, for example, in code, it can like code pretty well, but you still need to orchestrate it. And it's very similar um, in art. Like you can get kind of good pictures, like getting the consistency and like making everything fit together. That is really hard. And you might say, okay, but my pictures are not as good as the AI and I don't know how to get as good. I think the overall experience is way, way more important than the single pictures. So actually getting like the experience all together, like even if the each individual image is a little bit like not as pleasant to the eye or more expensive to do, it still will like pay out afterwards because you have like this entire overall experience that you are going to do. I can see that in my own game. Like, I know that because I'm using AI art, that the overall experience is not quite as consistent. I can't make like these really nice animations. I can't like do a lot of things, but I never planned on do so to do so. So before I just used like pre-made assets. This was also not to the art, by the way. This was also not very consistent. It was not perfect. It was like used from another thing. It was like more icons. The cards didn't look as nice. It was not all fitting as well. I tried my best, but I'm not an artist, so I can't really make it fit all together as well. And that basically gets to the point that I am going to make here in this video. What I'm trying to say is, you should pick the thing that you are really, really passionate about and don't use AI. Or if you use AI, like you need to do like a lot of manual additional stuff. That's like how I handle it. I'm using AI for coding. I still need to do a lot of orchestration. I still do a lot of basically architectural things. I give very strict instructions. So, and then review it, change it, fix it. I think you can do the same for images, but I'm not perfect with that. Maybe you need to do it all by hand. Maybe you don't want to use AI. That's fine. Um, what I'm saying is, if you are an artist that is really good at drawing, and like you're probably going to make a game that's all about the mood. So you should not save on art. You should not save on sound. That is really important. That is really core to the experience that you're going to do. So I don't think you should save there. Whereas if you do a game about mechanics, like let's say Dwarf Fortress, which was like ASCII art, if I'm not mistaken, in the beginning, like I don't think that it's a bad thing to say, okay, like I know they have now real art on Steam and it's awesome. Like you can still do that. That also proves the point. Like, you can still, after the fact, go in and replace the art with better art. Dwarf Fortress basically shows that. But if Dwarf Fortress would have been with real generated art at the beginning, I don't think it would be worse. I think it would be better. I think you get to a higher quality level, like with less cost, like way, way less cost. And I think that can help make the industry more sustainable. The same goes, by the way, for games from artists, right? Like before, games from artists were mostly like experiential and like very low on mechanics. Like I'm obviously this is not true for all games, but like in the tendency was going towards that because it was hard to code. Like you could like use some stuff like getting something done with like UI, like graphical nodes and stuff like that. But it was hard. It was like a lot of work and it's like really difficult. Obviously there are people who can do it all, but most of us, like including me, can't really, right? So for these people, like AI for coding will like supercharge them. Like they can do like a lot more than they could before. I'm sure about it. And if they use it cleverly, it will work fine as well. And so before you say, yeah, but this is going to get better, right? Like the AI is going to get better, and then we don't won't have jobs. Like I think there are two scenarios here, right? Like on the one hand, like we have the scenario like, okay, if AI gets really like really, really good. Like there are no issues. We just scale it up. It becomes superhuman. Um, Basically, we are all out of jobs at this point. So at this point, we either going to go into utopia or dystopia. I hope to utopia, but at this point, it doesn't really matter what we are talking about here. There will be no more jobs, basically, or very, very little. So I don't think we should discuss about how it impacts workplace because it doesn't really matter at this point, right? We need to discuss then how we handle it as a society and not how we handle it at work. But there's another future, and I think it's more likely, to be honest. And I think the progress also shows it, and that is that AI is not going to be like this all-encompassing thing. I think you can see already that AI is really strong in some things and really bad in others. And it was like always with that with computers. Like just because the calculator can calculate better than you, it's not smarter in math than you. And the same is with AI. I think you can clearly see that it's really good at like fulfilling certain instructions, but it does not understand how to think, really think. And because it can't do that, it can help you do a thing, but it can't do it itself. It can do like some random stuff, but it's always pretty bad. Like it's never really good. It's getting better. It's getting a little bit better, but I don't think it is really able to get there without the real understanding, and it lacks that. The real understanding, I think it lacks. We can simulate it, but we can't really get to it. And in that world, like art, like the games industry, for example, and other industries as well, will still need to have people who do like the art itself, basically, right? Like if you are an artist that just draws and wants to sell paintings, obviously, like using AI is probably not really beneficial to you. Like that doesn't really make any sense. If you work in a games company, on the other hand, it might make sense to use it. But on the other hand, if you want like a real moody game that is like really about the feelings, you shouldn't use it. Whereas if you do like a mechanical game, you can use it. And so every studio will basically have their own specialization and use AI on the other part so that the cost goes down. The thing becomes more sustainable. This will probably won't mean or shouldn't mean reducing in cost because the studios are going under even with like help from the government with grants and stuff, at least here in Germany. And so I think to make it more sustainable, it might help. Yeah. At least that's how I see it. Like maybe I'm too optimistic. Um, I don't want to say again because I know that's what people say. I'm not hand waving the ethics argument away. I'm just saying I think this will be solved sooner rather than later. Like within a year, it's clearly going to be there are going to be multiple things in place. There already are some rulings. This will go on for a bit, but this is going to get solved. What is okay and what is not, right? Yeah, almost at the 10-minute mark. So I knew this would go. It is going to be longer. If you really stick here through the end, I really appreciate it. I hope we can have like a nice discussion and not screaming. And yeah, make great games, have fun, play games. Bye.